Hello Internet, I'm your only mate, and it's time for a death battle I've been waiting for quite a while. Frieza from Dragon Ball versus Megatron from Transformers. Now, as I should say with all my reaction videos, please click the link in the description below to go watch the actual episode itself before watching mine or anyone's reactions. Don't be a dick, support the official release. So, how do I know these characters? Frieza, a lot more familiar with. I'm just gonna make that clear. Because when I was a kid, one of the first things I remember just watching was Dragon Ball Z. I can't remember exactly where, but I do remember watching it with my brother, and it kind of just became a thing. So I've known who Frieza is for a long time. Megatron, I've known he exists. Honestly, my Transformers knowledge just comes from just, like, oh yeah, I recognize them, and yeah, I know the names of these ones. Mostly. Although I did attend, like, a watch party with Robuscus, Torok, Kier, like, it was a whole thing, and we watched the Transformers movie. I can't remember what it was called. Like, it was the one with Unicron, like, from the 80s. Yeah, watching that with all of them was a lot of fun. So, going into this, obviously, just through bias and, like, who I'm rooting for, I want Frieza to win. Do I think he will? I have no fucking idea. Because from what I've heard... Okay, so they're sticking to G1 Megatron. But there's some stuff that's just like... Okay, is this G1 and are they counting this? And from what I've heard, if there's like Japanese material, like Transformers manga, that's being added, Megatron destroys him. Because there's a feat in there in which Megatron merges multiverses. Which, that's higher than anything we've seen in Dragon Ball yet, much less Frieza. So, yeah, if I hear that get brought up, Megatron for the win. If not, cautiously Frieza. Yeah. Though at the same time, I'm also just excited for the fight because, oh my god, it's just gonna be a fun time. It's Frieza fighting a giant robot. Come on, that sounds awesome. And not to mention, of course, they got little Karibo as Frieza. I am so happy. Like, I love Little Karibo's Frieza. Honestly, I just love Little Karibo's performances, like, just as a whole. Really. Like, any voice he does, like, I just end up loving it for some reason. Well, I mean, they're fantastic, of course. I'm excited to, one, see him in Death Battle, hear him go Golden Frieza, and see them use Black Frieza in the animation. For anyone who doesn't know, in the Dragon Ball manga, that's a new form Frieza has. So, yeah, I'm just excited for this episode. I'm gonna put these on, shut the fuck up, hit play, and watch.
Frieza, the Dread Emperor from Dragon Ball. And Megatron, the Decepticon commander from Transformers. When these two dictators collide, the cosmos will tremble. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Oh boy.
Deep in the bowels of outer space.
I'm also just excited to hear them talk about Frieza.
So evil that the universe itself trembles at his approach. Behold, the mighty Lord Frieza. Oh, he's adorable with the horns and that floppy tail. And
I wouldn't call Frieza adorable.
Genocide? Oh, awesome. And he's laughing. Cool. Frieza's diminutive stature and faux gentility were intentionally deceptive and rooted in a surprising place. In response to the Japanese economic bubble at the time, Frieza's design was meant to evoke real estate speculators. Series mangaka Akira Toriyama
Wait, what?
describes such speculators as the worst sort of people. Yes, really. I guess you could say Frieza is more than
Did what?
the eye. Oh, wait, shit, that's later. Much is unknown.
Did someone try to sell him like a bug-infested hell? That would explain a lot, actually.
As mutants with abnormally high power levels. Like how the dog said, my
Likes Yamcha hates Cooler.
Frieza was so crazy strong that unlike most Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, because in Fighters, didn't he mention I don't know, Yamcha's like attractive for a human?
Only intentionally. With his father's empire,
I remember hearing about that from Masako.
Frieza would cross the universe, conquering worlds one by one, and selling them to the highest bidder. Just like real estate speculators. And if anyone objected, he'd just kill them, their entire family, and everyone they ever knew. Just like real estate speculators.
Yeah, this real estate speculators thing, it makes so much sense now I hear it.
Do his dirty work for him. Frieza's not afraid to throw down himself, especially if some spiky-haired space monkeys start getting too uppity for their own good. Frieza's strength comes from his innate understanding and manipulation of his own ki, or
Not to mention, he was just born that strong.
His physicality or manifest into projectile attacks.
He caught up to where Goku and Vegeta were in Super, but with just 4 months of training. It's the biggest power jump in all of Dragon Ball.
His mind, fire laser beams from his eyes, create key force.
There it is, Black Frieza.
Sense the ki of others through sheer observation.
For those questioning whether or not they would or wouldn't have it in there.
Which, scaled to the ki he absorbed for his spirit bomb against Kid Buu, could move across the universe in less than a minute. That would be over 17
Jesus Christ!
times the speed of light, and he's gotten even stronger and faster since then. You know you're a badass when you can stroll into Planet Vegeta, a planet filled with people whose only higher aspirations involve murder and hair gel, and talk shit like you own the place. And he got so paranoid about one of them getting strong enough to kick his ass that he blew up the friggin' planet. Considering
just casually with one finger, just
Earth, this would mean it likely has 10 times the mass and 100 times the energy required to overcome its gravitational binding energy and destroy it. That's over 5.3
Jesus.
tons of TNT. And that was in his weakest form. Too bad he missed a spot.
And again, casually.
Survived to fight another day. Space genocide just ain't what it used to be. This would come back to bite him when he was finally forced to confront the
in multiple ways. Cue the Broly movie.
Ultimately ended up being the reason he turned into the legendary Super Saiyan. Like the albino dildo he is, Frieza has survived being pounded by Broly for an hour straight, crushed by Goku's spirit bomb, and then split in half, consumed by an exploding planet, and left afloat in the vacuum of space.
Yeah, how was he still alive at that point?
The vast majority of his body, though unlike other Dragon Ball villains, he can't heal on his own. It didn't help him that much after he got his ass sent to hell, but because of that
that's hell.
And his balls, he was
For
back
him.
at it again. And with just 4 months worth of training, the first time he'd ever
Which
trained
is
his entire life,
nuts.
Frieza was able to achieve a new transformation, capable of surpassing the Super Saiyan, Golden Frieza. That's a level of laziness I aspire to, Wiz. Maybe an art
Honestly, same.
lets him keep up with Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta. A significantly weaker Super Saiyan God Goku could blow up the whole of
There it
the
is.
in a punch clash with the God of Destruction, Beerus. And the shockwaves of their punches were able to reach the edges of existence in only a few seconds. Over 270 quadrillion times the speed of light. And that is before
God, these
so many
numbers.
years of power-ups and training between then and now. Totally crazy, but nothing compared to his newest and greatest form. A
With
transformation capable of
10 years of
Goku's
training.
Ultra Instinct and Vegeta's Ultra Ego. Their peaks at this point.
Yeah, he just one-shot them both.
Stronger than Gas, who was wished to be the strongest in the universe. He literally said F you to the Dragon Balls. This is
What?
Black Frieza. The all-seeing
What's
oracle
with
fish had
goldfish?
prophesied the coming of the universe's strongest. And perhaps he was talking about Frieza all along. Come on, give us another prediction. Oh, Wiz, I think you're gonna die. No, for some godforsaken reason, he didn't use his newfound power to kill those pesky Saiyans.
Yeah, he was literally just like, you better get training, monkeys. Ta-ta.
Once greatest sin and teamed up with them to save their universe and beat Jiren, a being comparable to the gods of destruction. Because no one's allowed to destroy the universe but him. And that's a promise he means to keep. This almighty emperor will continue to rule the universe with an iron grip and a heart of ice.
You know what? That's a good ending line.
You either die a hero,
Alright.
or you live long enough.
Let's see what you got, Megatron.
Villain. Or you live even longer and become an 80s toy commercial. This is Megatron. In Cybertron's ancient past, the planet was ruled by the Functionist religious order, which decreed a Transformer's natural-born alternate mode determined their
No, he likes poetry.
society rather
That's
than
neat.
letting them choose for themselves.
Likes Optimus Prime, hates Optimus Prime.
Megatron of Tarn dreamed
Makes
of
sense.
something more. So this giant Hasbro toy robot, only $5.99 at your nearest Rite Aid, wrote a manifesto on peaceful dissent that got popular with the oppressed Cybertronian working class. So much so, in fact, that the Senate tried to have him assassinated. Whoa, politics alert! After surviving that brush with death, Megatron was convinced that peace could never be an option. The only path left to overthrow the
So it's just a
social
sound
order
effect.
was violent revolution. So were the Autobots originally the bad guys here? Optimus Prime? More like Optimus Crime? Never say that Megatron wasn't committed. The civil war he started between the two groups lasted 9 million fucking years.
Yeah, just throwing this out there, there is no debate that Megatron has the experience advantage.
Immensely powerful fusion cannon. A giant laser bazooka that can hit targets from 12 miles away and level a small town in a single shot. These projectiles are so fast, they're able to exit the atmosphere from ground level after only a single second. By scaling the distance of the Earth using the angle of this shot, the fusion cannon's projectile must be moving over 4,200 times the speed of sound. But like me, the fusion cannon needs a little time to recharge between shots. So Megatron's got some tools to keep the job going. He can close the distance with his Energon mace and block blows with his Energon shield. It helps that Megs literally fought as a gladiator before his stunt as a revolutionary. Megatron
Oh yeah, that definitely helps.
from his eyes and arms, launch buzzsaws strong enough to slice through solid rock.
Both have
fly through
I-beams.
the air,
Neat.
And open up a force field known as a panic bubble. Now it might seem like a huge flaw that it lets enemy combatants inside.
Well, like the bubble shield in Halo.
Realize it won't let them back out again. That's when the panic part comes in. Megatron's not trapped in there with you. You're trapped in there with him.
I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
Leader Optimus Prime, who can toss around oil tankers weighing hundreds of thousands of tons. And Megatron's metallic hide was tough enough to survive an explosion so massive it launched the entire planet of Cybertron through space.
Yeah, I remember this from Optimus's episode.
And how fast it was sent flying to get its overall kinetic energy, Megatron must have survived a blast equal to nearly 4.5 ninotons of TNT.
Okay, much bigger than Planet Vegeta explosion.
Decepticons like Starscream, who can fly across the galaxy from Earth to Cybertron at hundreds of thousands of times the speed of light. And he wouldn't
Jesus.
be a Transformer without being able to transform into various vehicles. A tank, a stealth bomber jet, and a gun! Just a gun.
Yep.
Also B-38, in fact. I'm sorry.
Which he can aim by himself.
This tragic revolutionary corrupted by the cycle of violence or whatever, but...
Oh god, I want to see him do that. Just
I have ever
that
seen.
Frieza be like,
Does he
what the
act like
fuck?
his Decepticons point him at people and fire? Sometimes. He can fire himself too. Oh my god. That looks even sillier. You may be laughing, but Megatron is no joke. By utilizing space bridge teleportation technology, Megatron can establish a remote link up to a nearby black hole and teleport the antimatter.
Yep, antimatter. Okay, this is a
Through his
big thing of contention.
Should matter and antimatter meet, they will be mutually annihilated in a brilliant release of energy defined by E equals MC squared. It doesn't matter how durable the matter is, it will be destroyed at the subatomic level. As Megatron's war for control of Cybertron dragged
That's the problem.
pollutant ideals started to fall
Well,
to the wayside.
for Frieza.
There used to be a point to the war. Now, war was the point. His only goal left was to rule Cybertron with a literal iron fist. That's where Megatron's greatest weapon came into play. His mind. The dude is a strategic and tactical genius who's always thinking 10 steps ahead. He's fought powerful Transformers like Grimlock, Predacon, and the Decepticon.
Sorry, I'm just remembering Grimlock from the movie.
Behind it. He and Optimus have even fought Nova Prime and Regenesis Shockwave, both of whom could utilize the energy of that same universe. Megatron once sealed himself inside an Omniglobe and commanded 1,000 real-life battles at once, funneling every iota of relevant information into his brain at the same time. The sheer deluge of data would be incomprehensible for anyone without that supercomputer brain. But all that robot...
That's insane to think about.
And the only true loser was Cybertron. With the planet in ruins and its civilization extinguished, the Cybertronian Golden Age was long over. And the vanguard of its destruction was Megatron, who's now a crusty Saturday morning cartoon villain with a voice that sounds like he smokes 40 packs a day and a hate boner for his boneheaded second-in-command, Starscream. After countless millennia of a humiliating stalemate with his Boy Scout rival, Megatron's brilliant mind finally turned inward. He remembered that his early writings advocated for peaceful conversion and free thought instead of domination. It took you 9 million years to remember why you started fighting in the first place? Would that memory get lost in the cloud? In what was possibly his most surprising tactical move yet, Megatron saved the universe from annihilation as an Autobot. What? He realized that after millions of years of
I wouldn't have thought.
The ideals that he fought for, freedom, justice, equality, had switched sides, and Megatron had to as well. Turns out there was more to this supervillain than met the eye, because true to his nature, Megatron transformed.
Pause. Okay. I saw nothing about that Japanese material. There was no mention in the sidebar about, like, merging multiverses. It might have been in a black box that I missed. It happens. However, I'm still conflicted, because at the moment, it sounds like Frieza is more powerful. But then there's that speed gap, because they mentioned Megatron being in the Omniglobe and commanding all those battles at once, and the speed he would need to just, like, think, like, about all that, it's got to be something ridiculous, and I can't really think of anything in Dragon Ball that would close that gap, but of course there's, you know, potential multipliers from, like, transformations and scaling. I don't know if he could close that gap. And there's the antimatter, which doesn't matter how durable you are, if that hits you, you're dead. But the thing is, Dragon Ball characters can use their ki to, like, just, you know, protect themselves. But then there's the whole thing about Megatron being a tactical genius. And having all that experience. Because here's the thing. The sheer gap in power makes me want to say Frieza. Everything else makes me want to say Megatron. Okay, I'm just gonna go with Megatron. But hey, if Frieza wins, then hey, the character I'm more familiar with wins. So, yay on that. Plus, at the end of the day, like, well, I mean, yeah, Megatron went through that whole thing of being a good guy, but both these characters are also, like, villains in their series. So, like, whoever loses, in a way, the world they come from wins. Plus, like, both of them can treat death like a revolving door. Like, let's be real. So, yeah, like, whoever wins, I just want to see a cool fight. Speaking of which, play. The combats are set. Let's run the data for all possibilities. It's time for a death battle. I got thrown off thanks to Cole versus Alex. Oh, I'm so excited for this fight. I've seen the preview a bunch of times because, man, how this fight starts, I just love it. Greetings, noble warrior of planet Cyber, whatever. Disrespect right away.
Cheer for me or face annihilation.
I have fought for my planet for eons. I would rather see it turn to
So ash residing in your filthy hands, organic scum. I love it when they monologue back. I love that line. As do I love the one coming up. Also, this music kicks ass. Props to Brandon. I'll have to construct a new mothership from your corpse. Preview ends.
What's wrong? Is that clunky robot body too slow to keep up?
my wits and more than suffice, you blithering ponce.
Just gets up and just casually fricks his neck. Ooh, that is cool. Oh, he's doing that thing! Jesus. Cybertron is getting messed up.
Where did he go? Huh?
Oh, he's recreating that shot! Dude, props to Devil Artemis. I'm just recognizing shots from the actual show. And here's Golden Frieza. Oh, dude, sweet camera work on that. Oh, Jesus. You going through it, or... Oh, trying to push it back. Oh, Jesus! Oh, just smushing between them. And...
Well, doesn't this just always happen? I give it 5 minutes.
of course they reference that. The fact he hasn't broken out Black Frieza.
Behold the mighty Lord Frieza, ruler of a dying planet. My planet. Where is your army? Where is your ship? So powerful, and yet you will wander the depths of space for eternity. All because of me. What a
You despicable criminal! I'll torture you until your screams can be heard in the vacuum of space!
die a fool's death.
Here comes the antimatter. Oh!
You will die by my hand!
Oh! I thought that was it for a minute.
Cybertronians must kill them all.
That's it. Okay!
Frieza, it was actually 1 minute and 10 seconds. Idiot. Megatron's ruthless resilience may have netted him a win in some scenarios.
Okay, I predicted that wrong, but hey, the character I prefer won.
Gave him a clear edge. Megatron's
I'll take
ace in
it.
the hole was his antimatter, which would have annihilated Frieza's ass no matter how tough it was.
And that was a real possibility. Megatron is a master tactician and manipulator with millions of years of combat experience. Frieza, on the other hand, has always relied on his raw power and intimidation to win fights.
Oh, yeah.
Things don't
Well,
go
that and
his
just
way,
having
he
other
has a
people do it for him.
tendency to freak out.
However, Frieza has survived getting most of his body obliterated and kept going.
Which meant the antimatter wasn't a surefire win. It would have to completely cover Frieza's whole body before he could react. And Frieza was way too fast for that.
While Megatron's
Really?
characters who could cross galaxies, Frieza has kept up with Goku, who should be at least trillions of times faster.
And on his smaller size and key force fields, Frieza had more than enough ways to avoid, defend, or survive the antimatter.
So Megatron's only option was power. While Megatron has survived planet-busting explosions and even fought with a being that
Okay, yeah.
of a universe behind it, Golden Frieza was just too much for him, considering he certainly surpassed Goku and Beerus' Punch Clash. Since Universe 7 as a whole should be over 13 times larger than our own universe, Frieza's super forms would far exceed Megatron's own power.
And that feat happened at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. Goku has gotten leagues stronger since then. And Black
I already
Frieza
got him
is
Megatron.
beyond him.
He looks hype though.
No way Megatron was strong enough to keep
Oh, that was a funny black
Was
box.
a devious foe, but Frieza's power, speed, and sheer survivability allowed him to crush the Decepticon leader underfoot.
I guess you could say Megatron was cool, but Frieza
Was cooler.
The winner
There we go.
is Frieza.
Congrats, Frieza.
Thanks for watching. And
Oh, that was a fun episode.
We've got a ballot going on right now where members get to choose
All right.
a matchup for the next season.
But what's
Click that
next?
join button and jump into our Champions Discord.
I'll talk about that next time in just a moment, but for now, oh my god, that fight was really, really freaking cool. I'm just gonna admit this now. When Megatron's antimatter, like, enveloped Frieza, and the music, like, slowed down, I was a little disappointed at first because Frieza had just gone Black Frieza, and I thought, wait, no, surely they're not just gonna have Black Frieza show up and then immediately die, right? That's so lame. But, okay, recreating the whole, like, losing most of his body thing and keep fighting, like, that was cool. Like, you got me there, Death Pal. You got me. Oh, but, man, all the shots I recognize from, like the actual show that were, like, recreated. Like, seriously, huge props to Devil Artemis. Like, the dude went ham on this. And, as did the voice actor, shout out to Tom Schalk for a great sounding Megatron, and Little Karibo, as always, for his fantastic Frieza. Like, bravo, sir. Bravo. Coming from a fellow Brit. Bravo. Also, damn that track. Like, seriously, anytime Brandon gets a chance to redo a track he's commissioned, like, oh, just, mwah. Like, so good. And just like all the references throughout the fight, like, I can't believe they brought in the, like, I'd say you have about 5 minutes thing. Oh, that was clever. Also, this ends Dragon Ball's losing streak, because, yeah, after Broly, they've done nothing but lose. And I'm not counting Gogeta versus Vegito, because that was Dragon Ball versus Dragon Ball. Like, well, yes, they got a win, they also got a loss, so it's neutral. That is an episode I'm gonna rewatch a lot. As for next time, I'm completely clueless. Gojo versus Makima? Am I pronouncing that right? Jutsu Kaisen versus Chainsaw Man. Yeah, I'm just gonna admit, I've not watched those. Like, Sorry. Also, like, wait, October... There's a good chance recording my reaction to that is going to be a bit tricky. Because in 2 weeks' time, my brother's getting married. So, yeah, I'm gonna be late on that one. But yeah, overall, that was a fun as hell episode. I can't wait to rewatch that fight over and over and over and over. Oh, such a good episode. I don't want to say it's my favorite of the season. If nothing else, it's at least fighting Bill vs. Discord for that title. But I'll just have to see how the rest of the season plays out, or how maybe upon rewatches I'll think, yeah, you know what, maybe I like Bill vs. Discord a bit more, or I might like this episode more. Who knows? But yeah, that's all from me. I'm gonna go ahead and just start editing this. So, thank you for watching, and here is whatever outro is next in the cycle, because I seriously keep forgetting this thing. Bye.
This is Ruby Rose, and you've been watching Your Only Mate. Bye!